Hey guys, Andy McCann here with CrossFit Garage, where intensity is king and routine is your enemy. And I'm going to slide through all the workouts real quick, and you can pause the screen to look at what you want. And I'm going to go through them with a little bit of updates first. So this Monday we have Memorial Day Murph. We talked about it in the last episode, so I'll just let you know it's right there. We do have heats, and after Murph, we will have Memorial Day Movie, sponsored both by our very own Coach Josh. And let me show you. Yep, okay. So I've got no classes this Saturday, Memorial Day. Go have fun. And then Sunday, no classes. And then you see the three heats, 8 o'clock, 9:30, and 11. So you can come in, jump in a heat, and take off with everybody and get your Murph in. And then go out, have fun, and come back around 4 o'clock for a movie. So you'll see the lifting is very similar to what we've done before, so I'm just going to let you look at it. It should be what everyone expects. Down here you see double unders and shoulder to overhead, or an alternate version. So if you did not buy your own rope and you see people using the rope, you can go to Mute Athletics and get a rope for you. And these guys are pretty awesome. The ropes are really reasonably priced considering how well they're built. If you've seen like Joe Smith or anybody else that has their own rope using it, you will see how well it helps them move through the double unders, or helps you get those double unders. It's really helpful to have your own rope built or cut to your own size. The next day we've got 15-minute run, hang power clean, and sit-ups. You'll notice that this week there's a lack of pull-ups, or, well, there's some toes to bars, but there's a lack of hands-on bar for that gymnastic component because we have Murph coming up, so want to save your hands for that. If your hands are slightly banged up, just be careful through the week. Now, in these workouts, one thing I want to talk about in this one is why we do what we do and how it works. So you can look at this and say, well, I could do 15 minutes and just kind of go at it and have an easy pace, and when I'm done, have a talk with my friend. And that's not what we want when you're ready for it. So this may take 3, 4, 5 months to get to, and where I'm going to is this. You have oxidative burn or energy or metabolic pathways, and then you've got, and that's your aerobic. Then you got anaerobic or non-oxidative, and in there you got your phosphagen and glycolytic cycles, and both of those are what we hit when we want to, or in CrossFit, what we focus on. So the movements themselves are bang, there's a lift, bang, there's a lift, or bang, there's a sit-up. Yes, there is running as well, but we want that intense movement, and these are the two energy bins that we're trying to move. So I would encourage you to look up 3 metabolic pathways or metabolic conditioning, or you can just go to this article right here in the CrossFit Journal. But it's a great read, and great understanding of why what we do is so effective and how it works and why it burns carbs and fats so well rather than focusing on your oxidative states. But in here, when you think of that, you think 15 minutes, oh, that's not too bad, I'll just kind of coast through it. That's not what we want when you're ready for it. When you're ready for intensity, when you can do a hang power clean and you're like, oh yeah, no, I can do that, it's pretty good, and the coach says you're safe, and your sit-ups feeling good on your back, and you're not like cringing from a run from, I don't know, whatever. So when the time is right, and you'll know that by talking to your coach and listening to your own body, you want to start experimenting with intensity. Intensity is, let me pull that up. All right, I didn't find a really good one, but here it is. So power or intensity, same sort of thing, and it's basically your force. So force times distance over time. Force times distance is your work. So basically it's work divided by time. So I don't care that you ran a 5K. What I care is what was your time in that 5K, thus your power output or your intensity. So when you go back and do these workouts, that's what we're looking for, is your intensity. So how many rounds did you get? In this case, right, it's rounds. Sometimes it's for time, but we want intensity when you're ready for it. This is the part that most people, when they say, oh, CrossFit will hurt you, it's because they went intense before they actually had mechanics and consistency down. So go for mechanics and consistency, and then hit your intensity. And it does take some time, but this is like climbing a mountain. It's one step at a time, one day at a time. You look back a year from now and you'll say, wow. If you try to do it all in 30 days, then it's not going to be wow at all. It'll be something other than wow. Again, you see ring rows instead of pull-ups. Throw on a weight vest, looking at Murph. And here, like I said, you have some toes to bars. If your hands are gummed up at all and you plan on doing Murph with pull-ups, then consider doing sit-ups or something else, or maybe toes to rig, or knee ups, something that wouldn't crush your hands or throttle back the toes to bar. I would try to figure out how to hold onto a bar without hurting your hands. And let me see if I can find a picture of that. And here is the perfect picture. It is true, it will tax your hands a bit more, but if you're gripping with the top part of your hand on the top of the bar, then you are going to rub that puppy raw, and that will be blisters for a long time. And because we're putting calluses right there by lifting and other stuff, you're going to rip those calluses right off. So if you were to lower that to the side of the bar and grip with your fingers, because there's more bends in your fingers than this big flat bit, then you won't get blisters. So I don't rip or get blisters very often because I do that. Now I do come off the bar kind of faster than some, but over time it's crazy. Your fingers get strong even though when you flex them there's no muscles. So try adjusting your grip to save your grip or your calluses. Where was I? And this would be Fridays, bear crawl, farmer carry, and broad jump. Broad jumps can be pretty awesome, a nice explosive movement. If you think about how you're jumping, you should be in that power position, which would be essentially the same thing as taking off in a clean or a snatch. And of course this summer we got summer strength, and I'll update these pictures with new ones as the kids start up this summer. But it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday is summer or Mark Ripetoe's starting strength, so you can read all about that. Starting strength, Mark Ripetoe, and or just look through our program here. I've kind of labeled out the highlights. And then Tuesday, Thursday is CrossFit. Now this is just for kids. This is not for adults. So adults will not be working out during the kids' time. So it's at 2 o'clock this time. We have 13 or 14 other classes adults can go to. So this time slot is for kids only. Parents, if you want to come in and work out, you're welcome to do something outside, away from the inside of the gym where all the kids will be working out. So I'm going to encourage and push everyone to a different class, because this time frame we're going to really save for the kids. It got a little hectic before, and I want to make sure we focus on the kids in this program for them. Let's see what else I got here. Oh, and as always, something that you guys should be thinking about in the pyramid of health, it all starts with nutrition. Then there's metabolic conditioning. Then there's the gymnastics. Basically, being able to, or you can read it right here, builds capacity in each of the three metabolic pathways, develops efficiency for short, medium, and long distance stimulation or stimulus simultaneously. There you go. So basically, I can breathe and I can move. I can do the basic stuff. Gymnastics is basically getting control of your own body and its range of motion, right? So that's controlling yourself. We wouldn't have you do a clean and jerk if you couldn't do a sit-up and a push-up. Does that make sense? And then weightlifting is being able to work with external objects to produce power. So I'm lifting something else besides my body. So I went from a squat to a, back squat or a clean and a jerk. So using my legs and my core and body to create power or intensity externally from my own body dynamics. And then, of course, it's turning that into a sport. Not everyone has to run a sport, but CrossFit can be your sport, the sport of fitness. Though it is a lot of fun, and it keeps you well balanced and motivated. If you were to pick something to do, like I'm going to run a 5K, I'm going to do a triathlon, I'm going to play adult soccer or ultimate frisbee. I mean, there's tons of things you could do, but translate it into some type of sport, and it makes all of this very worthwhile. Besides the normal worthwhile of, hey, it's good body conditioning, but sports makes it a little bit fun too.